Hey beautiful people, today we'll be making this stylish cowl neckline top from start to finish. It is very simple and beginner friendly, so let's begin. It's just 1 yard of fabric. So I'm doing the illustration on my pattern paper. So on the table I have drafted out my basic body on my pattern paper. So I've taken my neck measurements, the wideness of the neck, which I use 3 inches for that. Then I take the back measurement, which I use 1 inches, and I use 3 inches for how deep I want the front to be. Then I went ahead to take my shoulder measurement, which is 16. I divide it by 2 to give me 8. Then I use 8 for my round armhole measurement. Take my under bust, my bust measurements, my waist, my hip, and the full length of the top. So that we come back to the starting line, and from my shoulder I come in by half inches from my shoulder. So there I'm going to connect it with the wideness of my neck. So on the round armhole, I said I use 8 inches, so I divide it by 2 and I get 4 inches. So from the 4 inches point I come in by half inches for the front, and then I'm taking my round measurements, round body measurements, which my bust is 39. I divide it by 4, then I have 9.5 inches. So I take my under bust measurements, my waist measurements, then for the full length of the top I use my hip measurement for that. My hip is 46, I minus 2 for it, then I have 44. Then I divide the 44 by 4 to have 11 inches. I'm using 11 inches for the full length because the length of my top is just 40. I had 1 inches all through for sewing allowance and I cut it out. So I went ahead to place the pattern paper on the materials I'm using. To cut out the back fabric from it, I'll cut it out as shown. Now that I've cut out the back material, so here is for the front. For my front pattern paper now, I will place my tape measurement on the starting line and come in by 8 inches. For the cowl neckline effect, I hope you get that. It's optional though. You can use 10, you can even start from your bust line, but I just want a little cowl neck effect, so that is why I use 8. So from that 8 inches now, I'm going to mark it and make a straight line and connect it to my chest line. If you are using your bust point for your cowl neck effect, you make a straight line on your bust also, but here I'm using my chest line, which is 8. So I've cut it out and I place it on my fabric. Open the paper and check what I have there. So I have 4.5 inches. Please, while cutting it, launch the shoulder. So that is the armhole and this is the full length of my top. So the next now is I'm going to cut it out just the way I place the paper on the fabric. And when I cut it, so I'm going to cut it from here like so. I'm going to cut out the facing. For the facing, I will cut it the way I cut out the materials, just that it's going to stop on my bust line. I hope you understand. So here is the facing, that is the facing I'm holding. So here is the front materials, and the last one is the back. So for the back too, I will cut facing on it to turn it in and use hemi gum for it. So here is our facing at the main fabric, right side facing each other. So from where we launch, we are going to make a straight line from one side to another. So then we join the body with 1 inches allowance I left earlier. Then for the armhole, so I'll use the facing to do turn up for it because the top is sleeveless top. Do the same for the two fronts. So here is our top. I've went ahead to join the back facing to the back, then I use hemi gum to hold it together. So for the back armhole, I cut a straight fabric and I sew it together, and do same to the down part. So here is our top, guys. I hope you love it. It's so classic and beginner friendly. Please, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so you can see more of me. Let me know if you are going to try it on in the comment section.